The city never slept, and neither did Riverside General Hospital. Its glowing windows lit up the night sky like a beacon of hope. Inside, doctors and nurses worked tirelessly, fighting to keep patients alive. Families trusted the hospital as a place of healing, a place where miracles happened every day. But beneath the surface, a quiet terror was spreading. Something darker than illness was stalking the wards of Riverside. Patients who should have lived were dying, and the hands meant to heal were hiding a deadly secret. This is the story of the night shift murders. It began with whispers. A man admitted for a broken leg, healthy, stable, and expected to leave in a week, was found dead in the early hours of the morning. His chart said cardiac arrest, but his vitals had shown no warning signs the night before. A young woman recovering from dehydration collapsed just days later. Another patient, an elderly man who had survived surgery, never woke up again. Individually, the deaths seemed explainable. A tragic string of bad luck, nothing more. But to Dr. Adrian Wells, a first-year resident, still burning with determination, the pattern felt wrong. He had worked the night shifts long enough to know the rhythm of the hospital. Yet something about these cases gnawed at him. The more he looked, the more questions he found. The bodies carried tiny puncture marks, fresh injections that weren't in their charts. And when Adrian quietly checked the pharmacy's inventory, he found missing doses of a powerful sedative. It was a drug that, in high enough amounts, could silence a patient's breathing within minutes. At first, Adrian told himself it couldn't be true. He was new, exhausted. Maybe he was just making mistakes. But then another patient died. And another. Adrian couldn't ignore it anymore. Someone inside Riverside was killing patients. He went to his superiors with his suspicions, but they brushed him aside. People die in hospitals all the time, they said. Don't let the stress get to you. But Adrian couldn't shake the feeling, so he began keeping his own records, times of death, staff rotations, medication logs, and even his own observations of the night shifts. That's when a name appeared again and again. Dr. Evelyn Hart. She was a veteran physician, respected by everyone who knew her. Patients adored her kindness. Nurses trusted her judgment. She was the last person anyone would suspect. And yet she was always there, always present on the nights when the unexplained deaths occurred. Adrian didn't want to believe it. Evelyn had been a mentor, a guiding presence, but the evidence mounted, pointing in only one direction. One cold winter night, Adrian made his decision. He would follow her. The hospital was quieter after midnight. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting long shadows across empty corridors. Adrian trailed her at a distance, his heart pounding with every step. Evelyn moved with calm confidence, carrying her clipboard as though on a routine round. But Adrian saw her slip a syringe into her coat pocket. She entered the room of a middle-aged man recovering from pneumonia. Hours earlier, the patient had been stable, even cheerful. Adrian held his breath, watching from just beyond the door. Evelyn drew the syringe and injected it smoothly into the patient's IV line. The man's chest began to rise and fall erratically. His breathing slowed, then stopped. The monitor screamed with alarms. Evelyn pressed the emergency button, calling for help. To anyone else, it looked like a sudden crisis. But Adrian knew the truth. He had seen her do it. The next day, Adrian gathered his notes and went to hospital security. He insisted they check the surveillance footage. Reluctantly, they agreed. The cameras told the same story Adrian had witnessed. Evelyn entering rooms, patients collapsing shortly after. Police were called. When they searched Evelyn's locker, they found vials of sedatives, syringes, and falsified medication logs. Confronted with the evidence, Evelyn confessed. But her explanation sent chills through everyone who heard it. She claimed she was helping. She believed she was sparing patients from unnecessary suffering. A mercy, she called it. But investigators quickly realized her victims weren't all terminal. Some were improving. Some had weeks, months, even years of life left. Evelyn had appointed herself judge, jury, and executioner. Her kindness had been a mask, her reputation a shield. Behind closed doors, she played God with the lives of those who trusted her most. The trial was swift, the community outraged. Families wept as they learned the truth that their loved ones had not died naturally, but by the hands of the very doctor they trusted. Evelyn Hart was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. As for Adrian Wells, the young doctor who refused to stay silent, He became known as the whistleblower who ended the nightmare. But he carried the weight of what he had seen, haunted by the memories of those lives lost before he could stop her. Hospitals are places of healing, places where we are at our most vulnerable, trusting strangers with our lives. But at Riverside General, that trust was shattered. The line between life and death was not drawn by illness, but by one woman's twisted sense of control. And it serves as a chilling reminder, sometimes the greatest danger doesn't come from disease, but from the very people meant to protect us. And so ends the story of the night shift murders. A tale of betrayal, fear, and a deadly secret hidden in plain sight. Remember, evil doesn't always lurk in the shadows. Sometimes it wears a white coat. For more videos like this, kindly subscribe and like this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.